Hello all. I'm back, sort of. I was asked to come back by a friend here on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else we're friends. And so I just wanted to take a minute and come back and start giving you some updates. I'm not sure how long since the last video, but it's been 8 years since I first started doing these on YouTube. And so just to give you some updates, when I stopped making videos, I basically started to go back downhill as far as gaining weight and less than healthy choices. And basically what happened is I lost my balance. The balance I had of exercising, eating well, and taking care of myself, because I decided to start dating. And while that could be a good choice, it ended up throwing me off completely. Even now, I can say, looking back on it, that it was not the right choice. I was better off on my own at that time. There was no reason to rush into things and find someone. If I could change it, I'd say I wouldn't, only because of all I learned from that time. But since then, it's just been one attempt after another to get back to where I was, exercise and eating. As it stands now, I've regained almost everything I ever lost, which is frustrating because for the first time in my adult life, I had been under 200 pounds. So that's far away right now. So I have to start over. And the key right now has been to find my motivation. And so that's what I've been trying to do. And, multiple tries, sometimes pretty successful, and then something happens. And that's the way life is. Something will happen. And what you need to do is find a way to keep going, to find the time to do what you need to do for yourself. That's not to say you should neglect people who also need you. You just have to find, again, that balance. So the hardest part most recently has been trying to find motivation, like I mentioned. And for me, this time around, it's been a gradual thing. There wasn't that one day where I just said enough is enough and I walked out the door and started exercising for 5 miles, whatever. It's been little starts and stops, and this month I decided that I was going to at least walk a mile every day. And so far I've held myself to that. One day might have been a little less than a mile, but that was because my plans were kind of changed without my knowledge. So I did what I could, and I got almost a full mile in. I was definitely more active than I had been previously. So that's what matters. Right now, my motivation, for real, people tell you their motivation is their kids, their family, bad news from the doctor, whatever it is. I have multiple sources of motivation right now. And apparently that's what I needed, because I've been more dedicated in the past week than I have in months, years. So, whatever it takes you to get started is what's important. If it's, just to be around for your kids or your family a little bit longer by being healthy, then use that. If it's, the doctor tells you if you don't do it, you're going to die, then that's what you need to use. For me, it's been a little bit of everything. I do have a child now, and I do want to be here for him. And I did get bad news from the doctor. And so, those two things combined, at least got my attention. And kind of amusing in a negative way. I have a person on Fitbit that I've been frenemies with for years. It's not intentional. It's just sort of like we're two overweight girls trying to make it in a world that's not overweight girl friendly. And of course that puts us at competition with each other. unless we can work together. And it just has never developed into working together. So, but she's on Fitbit and she doesn't always use it. But in recent week, she has decided to start using it. So that was further motivation for me to get out the door, get my steps in, and stay ahead of her. Is it the right kind of motivation? Maybe not. It's a little bit negative. But if that's what gets me out the door for now, then it's worth it to use it. So I'd really like to know what your motivation is. You can leave it in the comments below or, do a response video. I'd love to see it. Just to give you a little recap of what I did today. This morning, after a fairly healthy breakfast, I went out and did 3.1 miles. Got to aim for that 5K on the trails in my neighborhood, I guess you could say. Pushing the stroller. It's loose gravel and hills, so it's not exactly stroller friendly. So needless to say, it's very challenging. Quite a few short but steep hills. So it is definitely a full workout. And of course, my kid's not getting any any lighter. He's getting heavier every day. So the key is to get myself lighter so that it's a little bit easier. But that's about it for now. I will check in with you all later. I'm not sure when, but I will talk to you soon.